Welcome back to another video on asynchronous programming in F#. What we had a look at last time was the following expression. We had an inbox current queue length parameter that we printed, and we saw that we could print the number of messages that we had stacked up in our inbox queue. There is one more attribute of the inbox that I want to demonstrate today, which allows us to set a timeout value for our process. Let me just remove this async sleep because we don't need to wait anymore inside of a process. What I will do is I will say in the beginning, before we even define our loop, inbox.DefaultTimeout. This parameter allows us to set a default timeout for our mail processor where it shuts down automatically after a certain time interval. So you might have an actor that listens to messages for some part of your program, and then after a while you stop sending it messages and you want it to automatically, let's say, garbage collect or close down. This default timeout allows us to finish execution of this whenever we stop receiving messages. If we look here, it says that it raises a timeout exception if a message is not received in this amount of time. And in addition to that, we can see at the bottom here, by default, no timeout is used. So in the previous examples, we haven't specified this, and that means our mail processor will simply sit there and listen indefinitely until we finish the program altogether, or like stop the execution. What this will do now is it will stop the mail processor from actually listening for messages after a certain amount of time. So let's set this to something. Let's say 7 seconds, like that. Okay. If I execute this now, let's have a look and see that we can still execute everything as normal. Okay, so we executed, and let me just run again. You can see that we print received high each time I execute this code, and I can continue doing this for as long as I like, and it's still going to print received high, and then queue length of 0 is just because, well, the code is much faster than me personally pressing the evaluate button here, so we never build up a queue. But if I give this a little while now and I don't execute for a set of seconds, what you're going to find is when I press send next time and I post my message high, you're not going to be able to see this received high queue length 0. You're going to see that we try to post the word high, and we're going to have some value that's a unit value, but we're not going to actually print this part in here. And the reason for that is because this is now shut down. So I set it to 7 seconds, and 7 seconds has passed. So we can evaluate this again. Pay attention to the output and compare it to the last one. So you can see here, we posted high and we get a unit return, but we don't actually print anything. And that is because our process is now shut down. So if you want to shut your process down automatically after a while, you can use this default timeout setting in the inbox.